So like I said, my bike is an SP3. The SP3 is the 96 model. There were three SPs, the 94, 95, and 96. And out of the SPs, there's about 500 for each model. I think the total numbers are below that, like 1,200 altogether. So 3 signifies 96. Technically, the bike's just called an SP. The SP was the middle bike between the SPS and the base model, or some people call that the monoposto. The SP, right, has some unique parts on it from the factory above and beyond the base model, including the solo subframe, which doesn't allow a passenger with foot pegs or the structure or the strength for a passenger. It was a numbered bike. Mine's number 282. And it had a little bit more aggressive cams. So you can feel when you're riding the SP that it has a little bit more harsh throttle response, meaning it's a little bit more twitchy on the throttle. When you're in a track environment or a hard riding situation, that's totally great. On the street, it makes it a little bit harder to ride. It's pretty pure in that respect. The SP also had 50 millimeter intake as opposed to 45 millimeter intake on the base model. And also the exhaust was 50 millimeters. So on the SP, the exhaust goes from 45 millimeters up to 50 millimeters, and it just opens out. I'm lucky I have 2 different pipes for this bike. I have the Termignoni exhaust, which comes from after the 50 millimeter midsection. And then I also have the homologated Ducati pipes, which are Termignoni times Ducati. So they're silver pipes, or brushed aluminum kind of pipe. And it says Ducati on there with the part number, and it also says Termignoni on there. That's a pretty rare part and hard to get because it's 50 millimeter, and most of the 916s, or all the 916s, are 45 millimeter except for the SP, and maybe, I'm not sure about SPS. So I have that exhaust, which is a nice thing to have. Further, the SP had a carbon front mudguard or front fender, and it also had, I believe it had that V-shroud as carbon fiber. And in addition to that, it also had a carbon fiber airbox. So these things provided some weight savings over the bike. Overall, its overall mass. Altogether, I think they added up to something. And then with the tune and the gearing, it was a lot different bike from the 916. The gearing is lower gearing, or on the track, it runs. You barely even get to use 6th gear the way the gears are set up. I'm pretty sure you can check on the numbers, but I'm pretty sure it's lower gearing. The front sprocket is smaller, and gearings are just set up just slightly different than the normal 916. Yeah, so that's what the SP was, and it has a numbered triple clamp, if I didn't mention that. So I thought that is the awesome thing about this bike. When I found this bike, I noticed it was an SP, and I said, okay, yeah, I've got to have it. So that's the little story about what this bike is exactly, and of course, ignoring the things that I've done to this bike, which is a whole nother set of circumstances. All right, so that's 916 SP3.